Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Jacinda. I want to start by saying the title is not clickbait. I had a 92-hour labor with my first child. I am a mother of two. I have a son and a daughter, Salem, who just turned 3 last month, and Saga, who's almost 1.5. Before I get into this story, I just want to say thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment when you can. It costs nothing, means nothing to you, makes a world of difference for me. Also, I'm trying to grow out my bangs, so I don't really know what to do with them. Here we go. I had a 92-hour labor with my first child. I was 41 weeks and I guess 3 days past my due date. 5 o'clock in the morning on the dot on a Friday morning. I got up to use the restroom, made it halfway around the bed, and just like in the movies, my water broke. And like many first-time moms, I was like, my water broke, it's go time, I'm having this baby in like any minute. So I woke my husband up, I got in the shower, he went and started blowing up the birth pool and trying to fill it up with water. He called my midwife. Also, to preface, I had planned a home birth for my first child. And I got in the shower, shaved my legs, like washed real good, washed my hair, dried my hair, like I was ready. And my midwife said, okay, well, call me when your contractions get like 5 minutes apart. She is about 2 hours away from me, so she needed some time to get there. Friday goes on, I'm walking everywhere, doing everything that I can, and my contractions never pick up. I have one every 15 minutes, then one after 30 minutes, then maybe one at 7 minutes, but then maybe not another one till like an hour later. They weren't really painful. It was more just like cramping spasms, if that makes any sense. So she says, okay, go to sleep tonight, get some rest, and then tomorrow really try to do some vigorous activity. Obviously my water had broken already, so there wasn't a whole lot of checking me or anything, because at the point that your water breaks is when you can introduce infection to your baby. So Saturday morning, we get up, we go grocery shopping because we thought we were gonna have a birth team at our house that night. For sure the baby had to come that night. And we walked around the block. I mean, it's the middle of June in the South. It was hot. I was walking, eating everything I could to try to induce labor. We had Taco Bell. Like, I was doing everything that I could. No baby. Sunday rolls around. It's Father's Day. My midwife comes with my doula, and they check baby's heart rate. Baby's doing well. We just kind of hang out, and they start talking about the possibility of going to the hospital to get Pitocin. I was fervently against going to the hospital. I don't think I would ever stay in labor that long again. I really didn't want to go. It was really nerve-wracking for me. I had never ever been to a hospital before, ever. And I didn't want to go, and I didn't want to have any interventions. So I said, okay, give me tonight, let me stay home tonight, let me pack a bag. I had not even packed a hospital bag because I was dead set on not going. And if the baby's not here by 8 a.m., we will go to the hospital. 8 a.m. Monday morning, no baby. So we go to the hospital. I cried and was nauseous and upset the whole way. And we lived like 45 minutes from the hospital. I was convinced that they were going to treat me like I was crazy because I had a midwife, and I was nervous and I didn't know what they were going to do. I thought I was going to get there and they were going to immediately want to go for a C-section. So I get there, I'm in triage, they do an ultrasound. They're telling me my baby's big, like 9 pounds. but I got so lucky. The first nurse I had was a former midwife, and I'll get emotional talking about her because she really prepared me for what was to come. She was like, I know what you thought you were going to get out of this birth. These people were trained in a hospital. They're very serious. They're very alarming when it comes to a lot of different situations, and it's going to make you nervous, a lot of the things that they're going to say to you. And she really just prepared me for, being in a vulnerable position like that. So we did the triage. They're like, yeah, your water definitely broke. And they got me into a room. And not a minute after I was given my labor and delivery room, my midwife came. She was right there. As soon as I got a room, she was there. And she stayed with me. The doctor came in that was attending me at the time. And I'm not someone who can really speak when I get upset. Like the whole way to the hospital with my husband, I was going over what I wanted, what I didn't want. And I was like, because I'm not going to be able to advocate for myself when we get there, I'm too emotional. And so the doctor came in and I said, how long are you going to give me before you want to do a C-section? And he kind of hem-hawed around. He was like, I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. I said, how long are you giving me to have this baby naturally or vaginally before you want to do surgery? He said, you have 12 hours. Okay. This was at noon on Monday afternoon. I said, okay. So they start me on Pitocin and they start me on penicillin because I had tested positive for Group B. And that, I don't really know what that is, but it can like make your baby sick. I tested positive for it twice with both of my kids, so I don't know. It's just something that I carry. Anyways, they start me on Pitocin and penicillin, and I am in so much pain. Things are picking up relatively quickly. Like I said, my water had been broken for so long, no one really was checking me to see how dilated I was. The only time I remember someone checking me was when I was at 6 centimeters. So that's more than halfway. And at that point, I had not slept in days because when you think you're in labor, you just can't sleep. And they also, I say it happened quick. It took me a really long time to get to 6 centimeters. Like it was, he said 12 hours and it probably took me 9 hours to get to 6 centimeters. And so they were already talking about doing a C-section and they wanted to place an epidural just in case it came to them. So they placed an epidural. I said, put the minimal amount of me just so I can relax. I still couldn't sleep, but I wanted to take the edge off. I still felt every contraction that I had. I could still fully move around. It just took the pain out of it. I started shaking uncontrollably and I was just miserable. I had been in labor for 4 days. I'd been awake for nearly 4 days. I was tired and scared, and they were scaring me. They were worried that my baby was going to be sick. And so at noon, he told me I had 12 hours. So fast forward to 11 p.m. I'm still not, ready to push. The nurse that I had at that point, I did not like. She was very rude. She was very dry. She was not compassionate, and she just wanted me out of her way, it felt like. And so she came in, she looked at me, looks at the, monitors, and she goes, okay, well, I'm going to go tell the doctor to prep for a C-section. And as soon as she shut the door, my midwife flipped me on my side and put my opposite leg in this stirrup. And not 10 minutes later, I was crying and I was so scared, and I knew that my baby's head was right there. I knew that I had to push, but I was so scared to push. So I was like, I'm in a lot of pain. I think I need more medicine. I think I need, they need to up the epidural. And so my midwife called the nurse in, and the nurse lifts up the blanket I had over me, and she was like, no, your baby's coming. You can't have any more. So the nurses come in, and they, literally every birth story I hear, they're like, okay, let's do a practice push. I had been like waiting for this moment. I knew how to push, right? So I pushed once, and then they're like, oh no, stop, 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 he's coming, stop, stop, stop. Well, they said, we didn't know it was a boy at the time. We waited till he was born to find out the gender. Oh no, no, baby's coming, stop, the doctor's not here, stop. And at this point I was like, your body takes over. I was like, I can't stop, so catch him. And my midwife was there, and she was like, reach down, you can feel his head. And I reached down and felt his head, and it freaked me out. It's my first baby. I was like, I don't want to feel that. And I did not even really push. My body pushed for me the second time, and he came out. He was 6 pounds 13 ounces after they'd been telling me since, you know, all day that he was going to be a 9-pound baby and I was going to have to C-section. I gave birth vaginally to a 6 pound 13 ounce perfectly healthy baby boy in the hospital. They checked his blood sugar for 12 hours, every hour on the hour, which means they were pricking his little tiny baby foot to make sure his blood sugar was fine. And then, so he was born at 12:15 a.m. on Tuesday morning. He was born, you know, right at the 12-hour mark before I was going to have to go get a C-section after 92 hours of being in labor. They checked his blood sugar around the clock. He was fine. His bilirubin was fine. So he was born at 12:15 a.m. on Tuesday. On Tuesday evening, afternoon, his pediatrician came around, the doctor came around. I did not tear at all. Didn't have to have any stitches. He was perfectly fine. He was latching great. He was gaining weight. Neither of my kids have ever lost weight after birth. I know it's really, really common for babies to lose weight after birth. Neither of mine have. They've been both milk fanatics. So I asked his doctor, I was like, we'd really like to leave. I don't want to stay in the hospital. And he was like, oh, he said it was against his like better judgment, but he didn't see any danger in it either. So it's not like we left and did the whole like against the hospital's wishes and had to sign like this paperwork saying we were leaving. It was just, he was like, I'll let you leave, but you have to come back for a checkup in 2 days. Fine. I want to go home and sleep in my own bed, in my own clothes, and not have people coming in my room every hour. Because that's what people don't realize too. It's like, you don't get any sleep in the hospital, not because of your baby, because babies usually sleep great the first like 2 weeks they're around. There's people coming in all hours of the night. Moms, you have your blood pressure thing going off every 15 minutes. It's just like, I wanted to go home. So we went home, came back 2 days later. They did a little checkup, and he was fine. And he's been healthy as a horse ever since. He is 3 years old. He is in the 99th percentile for height and weight. He is so smart and so sweet. And I will never, ever, ever let him forget that I went through a 92-hour labor to get him here. So that's Salem's birth story. I did not get the home birth of my dreams, but I needed the help of modern medicine. And I'm grateful that it exists. I'm grateful that he got here healthy and alive and well, and that I was healthy and alive and well. I'm grateful that I had a team that supported my choices. I'm grateful that the staff gave me 12 hours, even though they really didn't want to. And I don't know, it was crazy. It was really crazy. And I don't firsthand remember a lot of it. I don't have any pictures from it. And I don't know. It was a wild ride, and I hope to never go through that again. But thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them. Yeah, thanks.